Welcome back. We are moments away from getting ready to cast DRG and MC.
That's right. I can't wait, Tasteless. This was one of my favorite series, actually, from the weekend. DRG did his normal stuff, actually played very well, but MC was just like, he was a sandbag wall. You know, he just could not be destroyed.
We are also joined by... We're joined by our great analysts over here. Guys, what are your thoughts going into this match? We just want to get confirmation first before to make sure the players are ready to start the game. But do you have any predictions for us?
I think MC's going to take it. His games they were very tense games for Dongraegu when they played in a round robin, but MC won convincingly. And it wasn't Dongraegu making mistakes. Dongraegu put his best game forth. MC showed that he had what it took to beat that. I think he's going to show us that same play again.
I kind of think DRG, after realizing, okay, that style didn't work, you saw him kind of evolve with his EVP as the tournament went on. I don't think he'll go back to it. And as long as he stays away from that Roach switching to Muta that MC seems so comfortable with, I really am confident that DRG can at least take it to a 5th game.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start this game now. Thanks, guys. DRG against MC. This is going to be really exciting. I hope that DRG evolves a little bit and we have a really close series.
Well, I think this is the first time that DRG has really been challenged as far as the way he plays the game. Normally, it's you barely eke out a win against him, but instead, MC, very impressive, 68% to 68%.
Looks like a tie,
It's going to be a tie. We're going to move them both up to the next round and make them play in a 3-way free-for-all.
Sure, that'll be great fun.
All right. On to the match in the bottom center starting location. We have a GSL champion, the Kratos Protoss, the Obama Protoss, MC. Meanwhile, in the opposite location at the top of the map, known for his Roach into Muta switches and bludgeoning his opponent to death. Let's see if he can do it this time. He didn't before. His ID is DRG. Both of them actually looking a little bit intense.
Yeah, this is
as far as the shots of them in the player seats.
It's the home stretch, Tasteless.
Right.
You know, they've played the group stage for 2 days straight. It was a grueling process with 21 games for every player. And now that they're here, all they can see is the finish line. You know, they want that so badly to win. Even just to win this match is huge because then you're top 4 and you get seeds into the next 2 MLGs.
Yeah, exactly. Now, we have the probe coming up here towards the Zerg's base, so he will have confirmation of where his opponent is. And, you know, I have to say they're very far apart, especially in a map like this, where you can see even the third base for the Zerg is actually farther away than the main base is in a way. Well, so it should be a good position for the Zerg to expand at least for the first, 10, 15 minutes.
You know, and DRG always does the same opening in this matchup. He's going to take 2 bases before any gas, and if he didn't, I mean, that would be an amazing, different, really weird thing for DRG. So MC's going to go ahead and try to block it a little bit with his probe, of course, and actually doesn't block it all that much.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that.
Yeah, normally...
Like no effort to stop it even.
Yeah, normally you'll at least make a pile and then cancel it, but, you know, it looks like he wanted to make that Nexus. But still, he could have just microed the probe a bit more, delayed it a little bit. Looks like just a slight misstep.
Well, you know, it's their first game of the day. Maybe MC isn't quite warmed up. But, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm a little bit surprised that there was not at least the attempt to deny the hatchery from starting up.
Well, it's a Nexus first build. He is supply block for quite some time, but that's something that, you know, MC is actually very used to. He really does like to just go up to about 18 probes and sit there for a little bit and get all his buildings going. And it generally tends to work out pretty well for him. Yeah,
this is one of the rare situations in StarCraft early game that you actually halt your worker production. I know initially when I saw him doing it, you know, in the early days of early GSL Code S, when we first saw him go for this, I was a little bit hesitant. I thought, I don't know if that's good. I'm programmed to get more probes early on, and that's really from StarCraft 1, but MC proving that a style like this works.
Yeah, it's a very valid way to play. You know, he gets to the second Nexus so quickly, the extra chrono boost, the extra probe production inherent in that really helps out.
So we're going to have to sit back and wait because both players are in the process of powering, as we would refer to it, excuse me. He's going to go for the 3 hatcheries. He's going to make a ton of drones. The gas for the Zerg will probably be a little late because he's really just focused on minerals. He doesn't need the tech right away. The Protoss needs to finish up the cybernetics core, and then from there, figure out what exactly do I want to do. Do I want to get a Stargate? Do I want to, like Huck, get 9 gates and do a timing attack? Do I want to get a Stargate and go for a Void Ray? There's a ton of different options. DTs as well. So this is really where if build orders are like a tree, we're still at the trunk. Soon we're going to have the branches coming out.
We're almost even down at the roots, I would say. You know, we have to see exactly what he's going to do. And he's getting the +1 attack. So there's definitely going to be at least a little bit of pressure. And throws down the Stargate. All right, so
I think this is probably MC's favorite opening.
He's really good with Stargate units. You have to hand it to him. He always finds a way to do some damage, really maximizes their potential. So we'll have to see how many Void Rays he actually wants to make. It probably will go 1 Void Ray into some Phoenixes. That's a style he's very comfortable with. And try to do a little bit of Zealot harassment at the same time.
The Overlord coming in here, checking to see what the tech route is. Now, MC, smartly so, put the Stargate at the expansion, which is, I think, slightly less common than it is in the main. So there'll be a few extra seconds before DRG can confirm exactly what his opponent's up to. Now, ideally, he'd like to gun down this Overlord before it gets vision of the Stargate, but just a little bit too late.
Yeah, that Stalker not quite quick enough. And, you know, of course, he didn't get it right away so that he could actually afford getting that Stargate in the +1. Now, he does have 3 gates in his main making. DRG still droning up heavily and getting Roach Warren, and that's the right thing to do. He needs to get that Roach Warren up as Warp Gate and +1 is about to finish. And without Roaches, those +1 Zealots are just going to carve you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, because the Void Ray's out, it's time to open up the entrance to his base. He's going to destroy the destructible debris next to the entrance. And I actually think it's a great feature on this map. They started to do that since oftentimes Protoss has had to wall themselves in and then destroy a pylon in order to get out. So, well, go ahead, Arctos.
Tasteless. We are actually having a 2-base timing attack here. He's making many Void Rays. He has already made 2. A 3rd one is on the way. And when you make that many Void Rays, that is extremely expensive. And Void Rays become a little bit less powerful as the game does progress. So he's going to have to get a lot of damage done with this build.
Okay, so far, DRG is saying, well, I am comfortable with the Roach tech. I suppose comfort is probably one of the most important factors when you're going to use a build in a tournament as competitive as this one. Now note, we saw Genius do something similar to this. In fact, to DRG, in fact, this is a move right out of a Genius textbook to put the pylons here. You can warp Zealots in, attack the workers as we see here now.
And 2 sentries being made as well, Tasteless.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man, he's going to be force fielding that ramp, and this is a great move. He does have multiple Void Rays, so he should be able to take out this Queen and then the Roaches, but the Roaches targeting down the sentries. Beautiful move there. It's exactly what he has to do.
Now, this is going to be a very tough situation for DRG. He needs to warp in a few more units over here onto the high ground, excuse me. Now sending the Zealots in here to try to draw some fire. He needs to get another force field over here. The Queens ideally need to move up the ramp. They need to move up the ramp. Is a force field going to go down?
Oh, and he traps 2 of them to kill him off with the Zealots. A very nice move there by MC, and he is getting just so far ahead right now. These Void Rays doing huge amounts of damage. The Queen's just too far away to be able to do anything.
Now we see the Void Rays being microed back. The Queen's taking a ton of damage. Microed back yet again over to the next Queen.
And he's even warping in Stalkers now, Tasteless. He does not even need to make any more sentries, he's decided. Just making regular units should be enough. 3 fully charged Void Rays.
I don't think that you can actually recover from this. I'm not sure the Void Rays are all charged up. Now these Roaches are going to melt. They need to get the pylons over here. Let me check on my preview screen. I don't believe we have a probe in this vicinity. Canceled.
Well, there are spores coming up. The 2 Queens trying to do some more damage. He's going to continue to kill a lot, but with those Void Rays up, this game should not end right now.
Yep, you know what? He's actually managed to hold this.
Yeah, he's got...
when I saw the sentries warped in, I was almost 100% sure he was not going to make it.
Well, he's done a huge amount of damage here, but let's not forget he did lose a lot of units. Now, with the 4 hatches, of course, DRG could make a ridiculous amount of Queens. In fact, is still producing Queens. And back at home, it looks like we're going to have some Colossus tech.
Yeah, we have the Immortal on the way coming out, but Thermal Lance is on the way as well, so we know that has to be used for the Colossus. He's going to go ahead and attack these rocks. And we're going to go into the third base for the Protoss. DRG still up in supply despite taking all that damage.
Yeah, you know, that's pretty normal when Protoss spends so much on tech. But, I mean, he killed a lot. One Void Ray, 10 kills, the other 11. The third one that passed away had a lot of kills as well. He really smashed DRG in that attack. But DRG not in bad shape because MC lost a lot of units. So he doesn't have a big standing army and thus can't really punish anything DRG does. And that's why he's taken a fourth base.
Looks like now DRG is comfortable trying to move out on the map. That may be difficult, though, because of the Void Rays that we just saw moving out on the map as well. They're probably headed towards, okay, yeah, they are headed towards the Xel'Naga watchtowers. They want to drive away any unit occupying that. They want to keep Zerg in the dark. That's one advantage you can have when you go for air as Protoss, is that generally Zerg don't have a lot of anti-air that's mobile off of creep. Queens and Hydras both not going to get away if they have to retreat off creep. And therefore, it's a smart move to try to go for something like that. It can make it, you can just basically make it lights out. No Overlords on the map, no Xel'Naga watchtowers being used until Mutatech. And speaking of Mutatech, we have a Spire on the way, about halfway finished right now.
And look at this, DRG trying to do some damage, but with a lot of force fields and a Colossus, it's going to be very difficult, especially with those two Void Rays chasing him. And look at that, that is a very fast hive by DRG. I like this choice a lot.
What are you thinking, Artosis? Is it going to be Broodlords?
Yeah, I would say most definitely going to get some Broodlords out as quickly as he possibly can. Because, you know, his opponent here, MC, he's going for this third base and Colossus tech, so his timing attack going to be a little bit slower. We have no blink or anything like that on the way. And in fact, he is going Phoenixes again. This is something MC has been liking a lot lately.
Yeah, Phoenix play. Again, I think he's taken a few passages from Genius's notebook here. He's really going for anti-muta. He's basically, let me put it like this, he's preempting the mutas. He's getting enough Phoenixes out that when mutas come out, they're no longer killing pylons, they're no longer killing probes, they're no longer causing the Protoss to become stuck in his base until he can fully defend from the mutas, and I think it's a smart move.
Now we do see Zerglings being burrowed at expansions. Really nice move there. He's going to have to send observers with probes anytime he wants to take a base or build cannons first. So that's just going to really slow him down and cost a lot of his speed. Now, DRG is already making his Spinecrawler walls. He's almost maxed out. A little bit of a slow max out, of course, for DRG because of that early game there. But MC looks like he wants to start pushing. Now, this is going to be a little bit scary because, you know, we are going to have Broodlords on the way. The Spire, though, hasn't started to go into a greater Spire yet. He does have some Corruptors, though, which will help him to deal with the Colossi.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty daunting task to move out with this Protoss army against DRG. You can see DRG's already piling up with spine crawlers over here to make sure that no way he just march in there. And in fact, even counter-attacking here with Zerglings. Oh, this really didn't do anything.
Well, he's trying to keep MC back for a little bit because when he actually gets some Broodlords out, then he's going to do a good job against this army. But without the Broodlords, the Colossus can just siege up the Spine Crawlers, so he'll lose a lot of them. Now, the Greater Spire is about halfway done, and he does have a lot of Infestors, so it looks like he will be able to get them out before MC can do critical damage.
Now note, even though the map is now being cut in half, they're very far away from each other. Protoss is going to have to make sure to have pylons in order to reinforce really well. As you can see, closing in here. And with the Thermal Lance, he can hit the Spine Crawlers without actually having to worry about taking damage. But this is basically just to buy time right now. And here come the Corruptors now.
Oh, very well done. Fungling there so that he could actually kill them off without them running away. And look at this. The Phoenix is coming in and lifting everything up. Some Fungals going down on him. The Corruptors attacking them as well. But he really needs those Infestors on the ground to start casting some spells. Look at this. A lot of fungal growths, and he is just decimating this army. There are not enough Stalkers here.
The Colossi are doing a lot of damage, but without more Stalkers here, they're just not going to do anything. All the Colossi basically getting gunned down, and that is definitely a victory there in that battle for DRG.
Yeah, MC in a lot of trouble now. Tasteless, just 111 supply left, trying to run away with what he has left over. But now we have Broodlords on the way for DRG.
All right, again, more Lings coming out here. The Lings, although they may be dying, they're not necessarily valuable for the Zerg. They're simply there to buy time. MC is continuing to push, but with 109 supply and Broodlords on the way, I don't know if this is the best way to handle this game. And now he retracts.
Well, MC is going to be hard-pressed to really do any damage here. He has only just one Colossus and a bunch of Stalkers with his army. DRG taking additional bases, making more Spine Crawlers, making a lot more Corruptors. He is in great shape here.
As you can see here, the Stalkers are going to have to be driven back now by the Broodlords. And we actually have, let's see here, we have 5 Broodlords out now, but it looks like there's 2 more at least on the way. Make that 3 more on the way. I don't know, Artosis, do you feel like MC should fall back?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. He might want to start running around with his Blink Stalkers a little bit, you know, trying to do some sort of harassment, clean up some creep, maybe blink into the main base, make those Broodlords run all around the map and buy time while you remake your army.
You're so smart, Artosis. I totally agree. I think blink into the main or blink into the soon-to-be new 5th base for the Zerg. You don't have to face the Broodlords directly. They're incredibly slow. They're one of the slowest units in the entire game. Just avoid them and instead attack the structures that the Broodlords can't defend.
Exactly, Tasteless. Well, it looks like DRG is getting ready to move forward. We do have a fleet beacon on the way for MC. He wants to get that mothership out, one of the best ways to actually deal with Broodlords, but it may be too late. These Broodlords are marching across the map, and he has a very fearsome maxed army.
As you can see now, he's moving up here. The Broodlords getting close, and MC adroitly blinks away. And that's exactly what you have to do. You have to avoid contact. Well, denying this hatchery from ever getting started.
Well, you know, the Colossi are going to do a really good job against the Zerglings, but they're just kind of there as filler units. It's the Broodlords he needs to deal with, but he needs to be... No! Oh! Right now, DRG in some trouble, getting blinked upon. The Zerglings trying to come up, and oh, nice fungal
he can even
there.
blink one more time. Oh, no, I guess he can't with the fungal.
Yeah, that is a beautiful set of fungal growths on those Stalkers, and everything just gets slaughtered here. DRG playing a magnificent game.
Well, as Colossus count has been reset, it does appear that we have a fleet beacon, so I'm curious if we're going to have a mothership come out here. I think that that we're getting close to the point of no return, though. DRG at 180, what now? Let me just say he's maxed. He's maxed, okay? I don't really see any opportunity for MC to turn this game around, and that's going to be it.
Yes.
GG.
He doesn't see one either, Tasteless, and I have to say, that was some beautiful play by DRG. You know, that first attack looked very scary indeed, but he targeted down the sentries. He kept making queens out of 4 hatches. The one thing that I have to ask to Sheth and Axlav, how did you feel about the follow-up strategy of MC? I thought that he might follow it up with like an immortal timing push or something like that, but the Colossus one seemed a bit too slow.
Yeah, I definitely think he needs to take either a third a little faster or go for an immortal timing. I don't think an immortal timing, it would have been a close call with that, but DRG's defense was so solid there. But if he took a very fast third behind that aggression, I don't think DRG could have broken it. I think he could have played Lock Redier, and he would have been in better shape for the late game.
Yeah, I think it all came down to that when MC decided to go. He pushed out at 185, could have waited for like maybe 12 more supply. And again, he only stayed on that Stalker Colossus tech. And I feel like if you're going to stay on that, you might as well hit it 200. At least at that time, you probably can. And then he didn't even tech up. He tried to go Mothership, but it wasn't in time to be able to be defensive, which is a little bit tough, right? Without a Mothership, I think he did just about the best he could with those 3 Colossus and those Stalkers in the center. But DRG played it beautifully. He didn't do the Roach timing. We were like, oh, look, now he's going to make a whole bunch of Roaches and then go Muta. And he didn't. And
yeah, he didn't at all.
Yeah, that was actually really nice. And you guys even were talking about it earlier, how, you know, he's switched his style through the tournament. We were criticizing him a little bit in the last 2 days about just always playing the same style that people are starting to figure out. I mean, does this change your guys' predictions at all?
It definitely changes my prediction. I have to say, I was expecting him to go with that Mass Roach, and MC's got that figured out. But now he's showing he's willing to go to Hive Tech. He knows how to use Broodlords and Infestors. And once he gets to that point, I don't think MC's going to be able to beat him at that Hive Tech level.
Would you say Zerg fighting?
I would say Protoss needs to fight more.
There you go. There you go. We've heard it. I believe the players are ready to get this going. By the way, I love the strat from MC at the start. That was sexy. I thought he was just going to warp in the Zealots and attack the workers. Then I saw the sentries, and I thought, oh, my God, he's going to lose right now. This is just going to be too strong. But really nice handling there. Well, countdown started. Artosis, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready, Tasteless, and it has started and, in fact, completed. I can't wait to see who's going to win this. Can DRG finally win an MLG, or will MC win another one?
I don't know. We're going to see. Let's go ahead and introduce the